Two more minutes. Let me share this with you. Very good. JJ and François, still working. JB, still working. Regis, Noise, and Paul are still working. Yes. Fred and okay, very good. So, dear colleagues, one more minute. Very good. Dear colleagues, time is up. Yes. So we're going to go around the venue. Remember, we had reporter number 1 for task number 1. This time around we switch. In your pairs, the other person who didn't write when we were doing the direct speech has now to speak. Okay? So, beginning from this on my right, I need reporter number 2 to read the statement in the reported speech. Okay.
Group number on the reporter.
No, number. What number?
Okay. We are number 1, but now
okay, very good. Yeah.
Okay. And they think, the group thinks that pupils are self-confident when writing.
Okay. So which tense did you use for
the simple present?
For the prompt? Yeah. Simple present. Okay. You are reporting a speech here. Okay. So don't you want to say they said? It's better, I would suggest. Okay, group number 1 said, I would suggest. You can still use the simple present, but could be interesting to, yes?
But I think that it depends on the reporting verb. If the reporting verb is in the present simple verb, it's okay. But the reason why they say...
when they said it, what time was it? When they said it, what time was it? No. The real time. Was it, what time is now? What's the time
now? Okay, real time.
Okay, so time.
Yeah, they said what was the time?
Yes. Okay. So now time has elapsed. You are now reporting something that was said a few minutes
Ago.
Please try to do that. Please try to do that. So rethink.
Pupils wear.
Okay, time is up. I'm gonna talk to Michelle and Ben.
Okay.
Because Michel and Ben, you were the first pair to finish. So I'm giving you the floor. And also giving you the honor of
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay.
Dear colleagues, please.
The first situation here is
Yes.
expressed in the simple present.
Okay.
So we move from the simple present to the simple past.
And what do you get?
Okay. Group 4 said they. We use they because we took into account the members of the group.
Excellent.
Okay. Group 4 said they agreed because students felt more comfortable in writing than speaking. So they needed some tools as grammar and vocabulary to write.
Michel, I'm going to ask you a favor. Can you reread the original statement in simple present?
Okay. We agree because students feel more comfortable in writing than in speaking. So they need some tools as grammar and vocabulary to write.
So you see that in the sentence pattern, grammar has changed. The vocabulary is still the same. Okay. Can we go to this group?
Okay. Group, we have the. Okay, group number 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you reporter number 2? Very
Yes.
good. Okay.
Okay. The first
Statement, yeah.
The first statement is, we disagree. Let's take the example of an E-level exam. Most of our learners prefer the oral exam instead of the written one because they feel much or more at ease when speaking rather than writing.
So that was a direct speech statement.
Yes.
Okay, now you are reporting what was
You
said.
are trying to turn it into
Reported speech.
yes, direct speech. They said that they disagreed. They should take the example of the E-level exam. Most of their learners preferred the oral exam instead of written one because they felt much more at ease when speaking rather than writing.
Very good. Dear colleagues, attention please. We're not going to go around the venue and let everyone talk. We just want to fix our ideas on what we are doing. Okay? So we have gone from the direct speech to indirect speech. Okay? And did we do it orally? No. What did I ask you to do in task number 1? What did I ask you to do in task number 2? To write again. So task number 1, you wrote. You wrote. Task number 2, what did you do? You wrote too. So try to imagine, what do you think is the theme of our session? Teaching?
Writing.
Hallelujah! Let's hear that for everybody. So our session will be about teaching writing. Okay. So now, remember that we taught the sentences or the statements that we pass from direct to indirect. What were we doing? We were doing some form of practice. Okay? Was it practice about listening? Was it practice about listening?
Yes, it is.
No. Was it practice about vocabulary?
No.
Reported speech is grammar. Okay. So we had let's call it, sorry, written practice of a grammar.
Point.
Yes, item.
Item.
Okay, so usually when we teach writing, for the most part, what do we do? For the most part, what do we do when we teach writing in class? Usually, what do we do? Yes, Ben?
Normally we choose a text first, and then we pick a grammar point from the text.
Okay.
After that, before that, we move to vocabulary from the points.
And that lesson, when you do that, is that lesson focusing on writing, or is it a lesson whereby you have the text, you do your vocabulary, you do your reading comprehension, who, what, where, when, how, okay, and then you isolate the grammar points, and then you explain the rule, which means that you work on the form, and then you elicit the examples to illustrate the grammar points, and then you ask the students either in the class to do a practical task, practical exercise, or at home they do it. Okay? But even as we ask our students to do that, do you think we are asking them to practice writing skills? Yes or no? What do you think? Is that kind of activity geared towards focusing on writing or rather focusing on grammar?
Much more grammar.
Michelle says, now it's no longer Kombila. this time around it's Michelle. Michelle says that activity focuses on grammar. It is writing, but written activity on grammar. A different opinion? A different opinion? No. Does it mean that all of us, when we try to teach writing, is that what we do all the time? No.
Not all the time.
Exactly, no.
Not all the
But
time.
at least we can all agree that the task number 1, which we all did, and task number 2, which we all did, was a written practice of grammar. Okay, now, if you want to teach writing, what else can we use apart from grammar?
If we want to teach writing,
Yes. Because just to help you, if you ask your students, say you come with an exercise, okay? Let's call it exercise A, okay? Exercise A has 5 different sentences.
yeah.
Okay, we have sentence 1, sentence 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, and the instruction of the exercise is turn the sentences from direct speech into reported speech. Now we all agree that this is a writing activity, but it's a writing activity focusing on
Based on grammar.
Okay, now, can we all think about a different activity of writing that could develop, foster, or encourage writing skills?
Except grammar.
What is about, yeah?
Dictation.
Okay, could be dictation, yes.
Well, we can, actually can be given a topic, for example.
They can be a topic, and then the students will write on the topic. Yes?
It can be an exercise on vocabulary.
Could be an exercise. Can you explain a bit more? What do you mean exercise on vocabulary, do you mean a text with holes and then the students has to put vocabulary items like vocabulary word number 1, word number 2, word number 3?
No, they can be asked to give, for example, to find some like synonyms.
And use them in
Yeah.
To find what? Words?
Yes.
Synonyms from where? From where?
From what we could have
Give
given
me the
before.
technical name. Give me the technical. You know it. From a. From the text.
Yes, of course. Yes.
So
From the text, yes.
So we can do written practices on grammar, but we can also work on text. So we can teach, or whether it is dictation, whether it is somebody said we can give a topic and they are going to expand on the topic. So we are moving from grammar to text. Okay? Moving from grammar to text. And you will all agree that actually when we're doing grammar, we're dealing with independent, separate sentences. If we are teaching text or how to write text, then we will start dealing with paragraphs. We will start dealing with the whole text. Okay, now I'm going to ask you to form 3 groups. This row will be group number 1. You will, group 4, you will be group number 2. And you will be group number 3, okay? Feel free to come out of your seats, to stand, to discuss with your others. And then I will give you the task for each group, okay?